Hello and welcome to My Harlem Portraits. My name is Maria Grazia Cavenaghi and I will be with you and I will be your host. Today we have two guests that belong to the world of sports and in particular basketball. We have here Mr. Rodney Johnson, welcome,
Thank you.
and Mr. Khalil Johnson. As you might be able to see, they are father and son, and they are both athletes, student athletes, and a coach.
My name is Khalil Johnson. I'm a 6'3" combo guard, originally from Long Island, New York. I fell in love with the game of basketball ever since I could hold the ball in my hands. Graduated from High Prep School, class of 2017. Now I decided to go play junior college basketball at Ridge College. Y'all see it? That's what's up. I'm definitely excited about my commitment, but my story doesn't stop here. This is just the beginning. My life journey, it was filled with a lot of ups and downs, but through it all, I learned a lot of lessons. Most importantly, just to always hold on to my faith.
So we're going to start with Mr. Johnson, Rodney. Rodney Johnson has created, is a co-founder of Exodus. And can you please tell us what is Exodus about?
Well, Exodus is a student-athlete program. Basically, what we do is we mentor the kids. We help them attain scholarships to go to many of the different Catholic schools, boarding schools, private schools, things like of that nature. And we show them a way using basketball to earn scholarships.
You were playing basketball, of course.
Yes. I played basketball back in the days at the University of New Hampshire in Durham. And I also had a shot at the Celtics. And then I broke my wrist and I kind of laid it down, and my give back was to start this program to teach kids how to navigate the system. So basketball is a asset to them, and it doesn't use them up. It helps them get an education.
And the reason why I'm interviewing and I'm talking to you is because I think this is an amazing thing that you're doing, because you're helping young people to navigate through a system that is often very, very difficult for them to understand, and not only for them but also for their parents. And you're helping them to have a better future and better life. And I know that you do that not only with young people from here, but you also have international students. Like you recently had a student from Nigeria to whom you're giving a new life. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, when Exodus first started out, we basically took a different route in choosing our student athletes. We didn't go for the most exceptional athlete. We went for the athletes that maybe no one would look at. And our concept was originally the student athletes we dealt with usually came from single family homes, people that people would normally count out. And we basically opened up the doors, and we kind of figured out a system to help people who had ambitions and goals and didn't know how to get there. And we started teaming up with other personnels to help mentor these kids and point them in the right direction. And from there, we found a little secret to helping kids obtain scholarships. And kids that normally probably wouldn't have achieved a scholarship to go on to matriculate to college, we figured out a way of helping them and pointing them in the right direction.
And this, I think, is really fantastic. So Khalil Johnson is a 6'3" student athlete. that has maintained a 3.4 GPA and a 20/40 on SATs. He graduated from Hyde Prep School in 2017, Hyde Prep School in Connecticut, and from Three Rivers College, Missouri, this year. Now he is starting his first year at the University of Denver on a full basketball scholarship. So you had your father as an example. So I imagine that his influence has been quite important for you in deciding to choose basketball or not. Is it?
Right. I mean, I would say not only my father, but my whole family honestly had a large part. I mean, just growing up around my father obviously played basketball and had this program and got so many players to the next level. And then my older cousin, who is like a big brother to me, Marcus, he played Division I basketball also and played overseas professionally. And he went to Towson University. And then also have an uncle who played Division I also at Wagner College. So I mean, there's just, my family is around the game a lot. Everybody loves basketball in my family, so I kind of found my own love for it just being around it, you know.
So you grew up in basketball.
Yeah.
Do you have also other coaches or other people that influenced you in growing up and in following this path?
Right. I mean, I have a countless amount of people that have helped me. I'm really thankful for all the people that have been in my life. I don't know if I'll even be able to name all of them off the top of my head, but some of them, obviously, I mean, my mother has always just been very supportive of all my goals and all my dreams, and has pushed me all the time, just consistently. My father as well has always been there, leading me on the right path. You know, when I need guidance, he's always been there. And then, I mean, like I said, my older cousin, he's like a big brother to me. I look up to him, honestly. He's kind of why I've been able to aspire for so long, just because, you know, he was with me every step of the way. As well as, I would say I had so many coaches, so many trainers. I would say I had a AAU coach, Coach Parham. He was very close to me. He always believed in me, even he always believed in me. So I mean, I feel like that was the biggest thing. And he helped me push myself to other, new heights. And as well, I've had some trainers. Brian, I had a trainer named Brian. He deals with professionals and college players on a daily basis, as well as high school players. So those are two people just off the top of my head. But I mean, again, my circle is endless. I could name people all day that
So
helped
you
me.
were pretty fortunate in from that point of view. Many other people are not, and I know that now you yourself help your peers and help them with your, you know, advices and so on when they need some.
Right.
So tell me about a little bit about your journey, because I know it has not always been easy. You had some obstacle that you had overcome. So tell me about it a little bit.
Right. I mean, honestly, I feel like I was counted out, you know, from day one. You know, I wasn't supposed to get as far as I've achieved. I think my first major obstacle was high school. When I got in, I was actually cut from my high school team, not once but twice, 2 years in a row. And instead, you know, most people would look at that and they would quit or give up, and you know, that would be a big obstacle. But I used that as motivation. You know, they saw me and they were like, "Oh, he's too skinny. He's not going to be strong enough. He's not going to do this and that." And I kind of proved that wrong. I went on my own. I worked every day. I worked harder than everyone around me, and I ended up achieving a scholarship to go away to prep school, Hyde Prep School, my sophomore year. Then again, I carried my work ethics. I didn't stop there, you know, because I didn't come in. I don't feel like I was where I wanted to be, you know, and I still don't feel like I'm where I want to be. I want to keep striving, but I feel like I worked harder than everyone there, and all the people that were ahead of me at the time, I feel like I've surpassed those people, and I feel like with my work ethics, I would say perseverance and faith. I feel like those are the two words that kept me going. So just being able to fight through all of it and believing that something good will come from my work ethic. So
That's fantastic, because I was going to ask you what is
mhm.
the main message you want to make, perseverance and faith. Sometimes you find yourself in a situation that you would never expect, and someone is able to block your life, and you don't understand why that person has so much power on you, but you have to get around it, you have to surpass that and say, I'm going to be stronger than you, because your will is not positive.
Mhm.
And when it's not positive, you can fight with positivity.
Right.
So what you did is exactly that, and that's very commendable.
Thank you.
I've noticed that the system in this country is very different from what I'm used to. I'm from Italy,
Mhm.
and in Europe, we don't have colleges that are so expensive.
Mhm.
We have public colleges are actually considered very good,
Mhm.
and we have some private colleges, but there isn't a big difference
Mhm.
in the degree you get.
Right.
And even the private colleges are not nearly as expensive as your colleges here.
Mhm.
So this system is really, to me,
Mhm.
a little bit difficult to understand. And of course, I totally agree that it should be totally changed and become free like we have in Europe.
Mhm.
Tuition free college should be open to everybody.
Right.
Good quality college, good quality high school, good quality middle school, good quality pre-K. They should be open to everybody and free. This is my message and my personal opinion.
Mhm.
But anyway, so why do you think this is? There is this big difference, and what do you think is the characteristic here?
I mean, I feel like you kind of touched on it a little bit, but I mean, it's very different. Just kind of the priorities, I would say, like in the education system. Like me personally, like I strive, to be a great student. Like that was always my thing, like academics before athletics. But I mean, I couldn't ignore the obvious that athletics was going to be my ticket. I maintained a 3.4 GPA, and I got a 1240 on my SAT score, which was in the top 10%. But I knew that wasn't going to be the tool that got me a full scholarship, just because it's so much harder. Honestly, I feel like they value athletics more than academics, depending on where you are. And I again, the money. I would say just the money in our country is centered around athletics. There's so many people that are willing to buy a ticket to a basketball game, but nobody's going to spend money to come and watch you take a test. So,
That's right.
it's just very different. So I guess just the priorities in our country, we just need to prioritize different things, and I think we could get on the right path.
And I think what you're saying, from things I read and documentaries I've seen,
Mhm.
I think that you have made some progress in that,
Mhm.
because from what I understand, athletes in the past, they were not pushed
Mhm.
to have strong academics.
Mhm.
And I know that you are very, very, I consider that very, very important. You stress that very much. So tell me a little bit about that and why you do that.
Well, growing up with, my mother, my father, they always stressed the importance of developing the mind. And I think with the opportunities of, exposing kids to a better education, say through prep school, boarding schools, and through college, it shows them many different resources are out there to achieve the many different goals you have. And I think that is important for our society, just to educate our people. And I feel like, the better educated we can educate our youth, the better world we have in the future. So that's one of the reasons why I emphasize the academic part. The basketball part is really easy for me because I've played every level, so I really understand how to develop a person from infinite stage all the way to maybe the pro level. But developing the mind, I think, goes a long way because the ball is going to deflate at some time. So just what are you going to do after basketball?
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's the whole point also, because the career of an athlete is relatively a short one.
Mhm.
And so you have to have a long-term view. What are you going to do when your career is finished? Yes, some people make a lot of money, so they don't need to have a career after that. But it's not everybody.
They still have to learn how to manage their money. They still have to learn how to, what to invest in, how to purchase things. So you get those kind of educations while you're in school.
Exactly. So Khalil, why did you choose the University of Denver, and how did they find you? How did they discover you?
So I guess I'll start with how they discovered me. Obviously, I told you I played junior college basketball at Three Rivers. That was my last school, and basically, honestly, I took a leap of faith. Me and my teammate Austin Parker, he's like another brother to me. We have been working really hard in the off season, and we kind of just took a leap of faith together. So me and him, we spent $150 to get into a showcase out in Atlanta. So right after class on Friday.
What is a showcase?
A showcase, just basically it was 3 games. So you just kind of playing against the other competition there.
JUCO All-American game.
Yeah, the JUCO All-American Open Showcase. So just went out there, and it was just 5-on-5, just playing basketball, and you just get to showcase your talents. So just show what you have.
And this is where coaches come from other.
Right. Yes, there was a lot of coaches in attendance. So
they come and discover new athletes. So it's really a place where, as an athlete, you, as a young athlete like you want to be discovered in other ways.
Right, for sure.
And let me add on, more so because I know another part of the story in meeting one of the coaches who actually did discover Khalil. He actually said that the first thing he did is he had received a report of all the different student athletes. And the first thing he looked at, he saw that his SAT score was a 1240. He was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Then he looked at his GPA and said the same thing, like, he said, I want to see who this young man is. And so he went to go watch him. What was the coach's name?
Coach Patton.
Yeah, Coach Patton. And what he said is that he just zoomed his eye on him, and he was watching him, everything he did. He said he watched him go on the side alone on his own, and he saw him warming up, a little bit different from everybody else, and seemed like he was really focused. And then he said he watched him because he stood out. He had like a little hoodie under his thing and warming his body up. And he said he watched him go through the drills, and he seen him stick a couple of jump shots and with nice form and good technique, and he said, I'm going to stay and watch this kid to see how it resonates on the court. And then once he watched Khalil play, he said he was making really good decisions. He was unselfish. He saw that he was, shaking his teammates' hands, patting them on the back, encouragement. And he was like, that's the kind of young man that we want, where some other athletes maybe were just going to just chuck up balls and just take shots. They kind of got pushed to the side. And that was like, one of the way that Coach Patton said that he had saw Khalil, and then that's when I guess
he saw the fact that you are a team player and not a selfish player.
Right.
Because sometimes being a selfish player and being the best one doesn't bring your team to win.
Right, for sure.
So this is very important.
Yeah, definitely. It's bigger than just yourself. So
you showed him that you had this larger view, and I think that's fundamental. And I think that comes from you also, because I see you doing that with all your kids, giving that perspective,
right,
that they have to be a team player. Because.
And how about the Denver part? She said, why did you select the University of Denver?
I mean, the major things on why I chose University of Denver, honestly, when I went on an official visit, and just being around the people and just like the culture. Obviously, Denver is a beautiful city. It was a beautiful campus and things like that. But those weren't the things that really attracted me to the school. It was meeting the coaches, meeting the players that I would be around, and it's just kind of like I see it as an opportunity not only to help. Like I can't just help. It's not just helping myself grow, but I can. It's also an opportunity for me to help the program grow. So kind of it's a beneficial thing. So not only make a name for myself, but to make a name for the school. In other words.
Because the program they have now, how is it organized?
I mean, I would say they're it's a new it's a new head coach. He's been there for 3 years.
Rodney Billups.
Coach Billups, and it's a young core. So freshmen and sophomores, we're all like really young. It's a young team, except for like one or two upperclassmen. And so it's kind of just the opportunity to come in and build something great. You know, we have the opportunity just because we're making a name for ourselves. You know, so just the opportunity to do that and just being around the right people again, like the culture, just the meeting the players and seeing how they think, and the coaches and the players have a great relationship. I feel like that's crucial, you know, to have a great relationship between everybody, open lines of communication. And I saw all those things, and it just looked like an ideal place for me to continue to grow. So
perfect. So
how about the academics?
Oh yeah, of course. And then very high academically. Again, that's probably why they looked at, you know, they had to look at the GPA and things first. But they have all the majors and things that I would possibly want to pursue in the future, and I mean very top academically. So.
And what is that you want to choose as a major? Because I don't think you just want to go for sports only, knowing, you know, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's definitely a bigger picture. The main thing right now, I'm majoring in biology. I'm in a biology major right now, and I'm hoping to go on to get my doctorate in physical therapy. But I also have a bigger vision going into business afterwards. So I'm kind of using physical therapy and basketball as long as I can to build a foundation. But I want to start my own business. Not going to give out my idea yet, you know. Don't want anybody to steal it. But you know, I just want to. I have a vision of being able to help people in the future too. So
like your dad has been doing all these years.
Right. So it's a bigger picture vision. It's not just going to benefit me and my family financially, but it's going to help a lot of people along the road. So that's kind of my vision.
That's fantastic. Talking about helping people and so on, tell me about this Battle of New England, which I think had together a lot of young athletes and so on that you do every year, right?
Well, the Battle of New England is a major event that's held in Boston, Massachusetts. And what it is it's 8 teams from across the USA: Atlanta, Philadelphia, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, and Massachusetts, and Maine. And basically, it's the top high school selected players from each state, 10 top players selected from each state who compete for the championship for the Battle of New England. And a family member of mine, a partner who played basketball with me in high school and college, Al McLean, actually rebirthed this big event, which we're definitely looking forward to attending.
All right, but this you just finished this event.
Yes.
And so you have been doing it for 3 or 4 years?
Well, actually, this is the second year.
Second year.
Yes, this is the second year, and we actually did just finish it, and it's the second year, and it was held at Madison Park complex in Boston, Massachusetts, and next year is growing to another level where it's going to move into UMass University, and then the following year is going to go into to the Boston Garden, that's a big thing, big growth.
So again, you have long-term visions.
Yes, definitely.
It's never a short term.
Yeah.
Khalil, if you had to give advice to your peers about how to go to choose their career and to choose the sport that they're playing and so on, what would you tell them the most important things are, the most important obstacles to watch out for, and so on?
I mean, the first thing I would tell them is make sure to do something they love. You know, your heart has to be in it. If you're not doing it for your, you have to have your own reason why. So making sure your heart is in it, surrounding yourself with good people. I would say that's a crucial thing. Me personally, I always try to find a good group of people to grow with, because it's not just when you're around a good group of people, you guys help each other grow. You're not taking from each other. It's not I'm taking from you, or it's not them taking from yourself. You guys help each other grow, and I feel like that's a major thing. And then they'll help you stay true to your vision, your dream, your goals. And so I would say those things, and then kind of what I spoke on a little bit earlier, the persistence and faith. So just always, if you have a dream, you have to stick to it, and you have to believe it every day, and you have to work towards it every day. So just staying persistent with that, and persevering.
And I also heard you saying to actually the Matthias from Nigeria that we talked before,
Right.
telling him to make sure that he is with the right people, and at the same time that he can to manage your own body in the way that your body is built. So manage the sleeping time and so on. So I think this is also a very important message that you can give your peers who tend to sometimes drink a little bit too much, smoke a little bit too much, not sleep enough, have too much fun. I had a lot of fun. So just a little last word, and then we're going to watch Khalil, a little medley of his way of playing.
Okay. Kind of just speaking on that briefly, you have to take time for yourself. Put simple and plain. You have your own needs, and your needs are going to be different from your friends. So you have to make sure to take care of those things, because you can't help somebody else if you can't help yourself. So take care of yourself first, and then you can help others when you're in the right place. So
thank you. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being with us. And we are going to leave you today with Khalil Johnson playing.